The Sokoto State Police Command is deploying over 1,000 conventional and plaincloth officers as the Supreme Court prepares to hear the appeal brought before it by the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in the 2019 governorship elections. Well, this deployment, as confirmed in a statement from the State's Command Public Relations Officer, is on the orders of the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Kalje, who says the measure is to ensure peace before and after the hearing. According to him, particular attention is being focused on the Sokoto metropolis and its environs, as well as on some strategic locations within their vicinity. The Commissioner of Police also explained that the strategy would be maintained until further notice, in line with the recent directive issued by the Inspector General of Police. He expressed delight that zero violence was witnessed during last Friday's congressional prayers across the state. Residents of the Federal Capital Territory and other neighboring towns may go about their businesses as usual without any fear of a natural disaster in any form or in the form of an earthquake, and that's if the words of the Nigerian Geological Survey industry, or rather agency, is anything to go by. The agency today debunked claims by a university lecturer that the FCT experienced a 3.8 magnitude earthquake a few days ago. According to the agency, none of the equipment picked up any seismic activity, and they are faulting the research method used by the lecturer to arrive at his claims. Our correspondent Kano reports.
Not too long ago, a professor of geophysics from the University of Ife said he had sighted an earthquake somewhere in the nation's capital, around the Abaji axis. The Nigerian Geological Survey Agency said it did not pick up this particular earthquake, and neither did their equipment in the Gwagwalada axis of the FCT, but they feel it is important to check the site out and find out exactly what's going on. First stop is the monitoring station located at the Department of Physics at the University of Abuja. The power is down, and the acting head of the department says he doesn't know exactly how much seismic activity this 3-year-old solar-powered equipment has recorded.
As at yesterday that we came, when we heard about we heard that there was a tremor in Abuja, we quickly rushed here, and we noticed that it was working and there was no event recorded.
For an earthquake of 3.8 magnitude to have taken place, if it happened in Abaji, that impact will have alerted somebody in Jere. But you see here, nobody is aware of that impact, and the distance is not much, but we are going there to see for all ourselves.
And that's exactly what we did. We took the 2-hour drive to Abaji, 176 kilometers away from the Abuja city center.
This is my town village now, so I don't hear anything at all.
Not at all.
This is the first time that we had it in our palace, or in Abaji, as a general.
We decided to go closer to the actual location given by the lecturer from Ile-Ife, Takura village, which is about 1 kilometer away from this village. And so far, the buildings here are still intact, with the villagers claiming they felt nothing.
I never noticed anything like that.
I don't see anything. I don't hear anything like that too.
This entire earthquake debacle has cast a dark shadow on the work being done by this professor from the University of Ile-Ife. It will be interesting to find out how he got his findings. Kayla Magwa, Channels Television News.
Residents of 7 communities that make up Allen Ward in Akpa district of Otokpo local government area of Benue state are crying out over the poor state of living. The residents say the lack of infrastructure has caused them losses in economic terms, as the bridges that should encourage visitors have been abandoned by government. Our community report tonight looks at the various issues faced by residents and what government has in store to solve their problems.
Along the expressway in Benue State is a sign that leads to Ogioma Akpa, one of the 7 communities under Allen Ward in Akpa district of Otokpo local government area. Dusty roads is the least of the problems here. They are glad that at best it's motorable. The first noticeable issue is the link bridge that connects to the community. This was well checked on construction day.
The bridge was constructed in 1973, and since then, all our culverts is condemned. and we don't even know where we take our cry to. We are suffering. We don't know how our goods will come out of the village.
Begging for attention in Adim Akpa community is another bridge which is said to have been abandoned since 2006 by the contractor. The community resolved then to construct a makeshift crossing, which required utmost concentration and some level of speed to get across.
We task ourselves to construct this bridge every year. There's no way, even the local government has never helped us one time or any time.
There was a time when the activities at the island market was filled with people and food produce, but all that has dwindled tremendously, owing largely to what this man, who is one of the pioneers of the market, says is the lack of storage, which he blames on the government.
Okay, the government.
If government would build safety stores for us at this market, we would be thankful. All our yam, gari, cassava, palm oil, palm wine, plantain, and okra are in abundance here.
The communities are also bereft of healthcare centers and proper water supply. School structures appear to be on the verge of collapse.
This school has been dilapidated like this for the past 10 years now. And us being the community, we've made every effort in our own part to ensure that our younger ones get education.
A major reason why the communities are facing problems, as explained by the Benue State Commissioner for Information and Tourism, is the contractor who failed to notify the government of a pending financial problem.
Monies were paid about 13 or 18 million. I don't have the facts now, but I know it's about 13 or 18 million. They paid that money, and unfortunately, the company that was granted that contract had a loan in the bank. And so once the government paid that money into their account, the bank took the money.
Now that the issues have been exposed by the communities and the government, hopefully the next steps that will be taken will have one side celebrating and the other celebrated.
And in Nasarawa State, north-central Nigeria, it's still a long road for women in playing an active role in the state's political landscape. Since the creation of the state in 1996, the state has only produced one female lawmaker in the state's House of Assembly. Female politicians in the state also lament what they describe as discrimination in appointment. This next report, our correspondent Halima Gayam takes a look at the participation of women in the politics of the state.
Nigeria has one of the lowest rates of women in parliament across Africa and globally, ranking 180 out of 193 countries. The scenario begins from the state houses of assemblies, with Nasarawa State one of the worst. For 9 years, the legislative chamber has no female representation, despite provisions of sections 40 and 42 of the Constitution, which prohibits discrimination.
When I look at my left and right in this assembly, without seeing a lady, I find it painful. And I become so remorseful about it. However, it's all about democracy.
The 6th Assembly is again carrying out legislative business from 2019 to 2023 without a female representative, a situation the women are worried about.
It is a sad development that we are not there. How do you make laws that you don't have women that will be able to present issues that concerns women? In this century, we must overlook those issues that we think are the reasons why we are not allowing our women, our sisters, our wives to be where they are supposed to be, to partner and give their own contribution to the growth of this nation.
The solitary female representative since the return to democracy in the state served at the 3rd Assembly between 2007 and 2011. With no successor till date, she wants more women engagement.
Opportunity should be given to us severally in order to represent our women, because we have the capacity, not financial capacity.
A male representative is chairing the House Committee on Women Affairs, and the need to engage women in other fora tops his vision.
Since these women were not involved in elective position, we have to create opportunity for them, especially in executive and maybe the other area that they can also contribute their quota to the development of the states.
Rwanda broke the world record of 64% women representation in parliament as they occupy 54 out of 80 seats. Nigeria may want to take a cue from Rwanda, from the state houses of assemblies to the National Assembly, working towards guaranteeing the protection of women's political rights. Halima Gayam, Channels Television News.
In the northwest Nigeria, Kano is known for its commercial viability, courtesy of numerous markets of international repute where traders from all over Nigeria and Africa, also beyond, converge to transact businesses. But one of such markets is the famous Katinkori textile market, which has been in existence since the 15th century, where Nigeria made wax and other textile materials sold as well. Well, the market is now a shadow of itself, and our correspondent Nanchin Vincent takes a look at how the recent border closure by the federal government is taking its toll on business.
Guinea brocade, assorted lace, Hollandaise, Côte d'Ivoire, amongst others, are textiles displayed in shops and on the streets of Katinkori market in various colors, qualities and prices. The market infrastructure has also been upgraded as shops are well furnished with shelves, proper lighting and the road map well carved out for easy movement of patrons. Shop and table owners compete for patronage as people selling on the streets display their wares. Traders come from far and near to buy goods from the popular Katinkori market. They give reasons for their preference.
No matter what kind of quality you want, whether the small quality, medium quality or big quality, you always find it in Kori market, and they give you the best of prices.
Other traders, however, lament the hike in prices.
The price, they high. All those goods that will be bought to go house, no money to buy.
Those who sell in the market decry the harsh effect of the border closure on their businesses.
Before the government close the border, they have to activate our current companies that have already died. You understand? You know that there are many textile industry that's not working properly.
The Kano State Commissioner for Commerce and Industry applauds the federal government's closure of borders. While empathizing with the Katinkori market traders, he announces plans by the government to revive the textile industry in the state.
Kano State has a policy of reviving these moribund industries. And we have already compiled their list. We did our studies and submitted reports to the government. And I'm sure so many agencies are working on that. Under the Ministry of Commerce, I know there is Can Invest, and there is Kano Investment and Properties Limited. And all of them, we are working in collaboration with this ministry, hands in hands, to make sure that we take the advantage of this border closure. Because now when we are crying about textile and rice, which are the most popular, so we want the issue to extend all other sectors so that our industries can come back.
There is no doubt that Kano State, considering its population, has a large market base, and if the textile industries are brought back, it will boost economic activities here in Katinkori, providing job opportunities for many unemployed people. Here in Kano Commercial City, Nanchin Vincent, Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10. World number 2 Novak Djokovic inspires Serbia to win the inaugural ATP Cup title with victory over Spain at the Ken Rosewall Arena in Sydney. That's in sports news. Please stay with us.